And welcome back to the Lantern Corp videos. Shadow Dice Gaming asked the question, what Lantern Corp does Darth Sidious belong in? Now, for me, I think there is a pretty obvious answer to this one. But, to be fair, let's look over some of the possibilities real quick. So, first off is the Green Lantern Corps of Will. This, to be fair, would be a solid fit for Sidious. The amount of willpower, and by the way, we'll look at Sidious from the movies, not necessarily from the expanding universe, because that's a giant kettle of fish we got to open up right there. But we'll look at him straight from the movies. Willpower, though, look, the man was scheming for decades to bring down the Jedi, brought it down, and then held onto the galaxy for decades longer, then got betrayed by his apprentice, and was able to come back from the dead. It is revealed it's like through cloning and bullshit. But still, he was able to come back from the dead. The amount of willpower it takes to do that is immense, and hold on to that body that was decaying in the Rise of Skywalker is immense. So, yeah, willpower could be a damn good Lantern Corp form. At the same time, though, there's also the Lantern Corps of Avarice. There is a reason he held down for that long. It's because the Emperor was an individual who was never satisfied. Period. It was whatever he did was always just to get mass and gain more power in some way, shape, or form. Be it to usurp his apprentice by taking on the Sun as his new apprentice. To overthrow the Jedi so he can become the supreme ruler of the galaxy. And then get rid of the Jedi. There's always an agenda with Sidious's plans. His rule always has caveats to it. So he's a man who was never satisfied and was constantly wanting more, i.e. the perfect description of the emotion of avarice. Likewise, though, he is also a perfect description for the emotion of fear. You want to talk about someone who scared the piss out of people, it's Darth Sidious. The Emperor is one of the most feared individuals. The comics and expanded lore. It is canon. Whether Vader or not is actually afraid of Sidious, that's actually a good question. I don't think we really know that. Something to just sip on so my throat doesn't go dry. But yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, Yoda was not shy. No, he had a level of fear and respect for Sidious. Most of the remaining Jedi were afraid of Sidious, so they would not hesitate to challenge him to try to take him out. Most of the galaxy under his rule was afraid of Sidious, although they didn't know the real true nature of Sidious. They knew him as just Emperor Palpatine. But then you will go to Rise of Skywalker, and when they find out it's Sidious and he's back, Palpatine is back, yeah, everyone's freaking afraid of Palpatine. So, yeah, fear would be an extremely effective Lantern Corps for him. But last, and again, we're just going with the movies, we do have to factor death into this because he has died. Now, he came back through cloning as it is, but he did die. So, yeah, he ultimately is someone who has died and come back. So you could make an argument for the Black Lantern Corps of Death. Now, if we're to say which one of these would be the one he'd most likely take, it would probably be either the orange or the yellow. And the reason for that is the green is too much of the goody-good two-shoes color for him. Granted, they got rid of the whole caveat that Green Lanterns can't kill long ago, but at the same time, I don't think he would really care about a Green Lantern that much, knowing what it is. You have great will. Like if all four of these Lantern Corps rings came to him, then I think the green one would be the one he turns down. Likewise, death, I don't think it would be, because he's always tried to avoid death and obtain immortality, things along those lines. To add into the fact that with the Force, even though these are technically pieces of technology, with the amount of force he has, he could probably sense at least the intent behind the ring's purpose. And when you're a member of the Black Lantern Corps, you're actually not a member. You're not your own individual. You're technically part of not a hive mind, but you're a bit of a drone, is what it is. So, I mean, you do technically have personality, but you're under someone else's influence with the Black Lantern ring. So, yeah. So ultimately, he'd probably choose either a yellow or an orange ring. And honestly, if it was about choosing between greed and fear, he'd probably choose fear because he'd like to use that to lord over individuals. But that's the thing. That's if he had the option of, if like all four of these rings came to him and they kind of were fighting for his a host, if you will, then he would probably choose fear over the other ones. But the question actually becomes, which one of these is he most likely to represent most effectively? Again, though, I think will and death are possibilities. It comes down to, again, avarice and fear. And I'll say this, I think it's actually more avarice than it is fear. Most people tend to go with avarice with Sidious when I've seen Lantern Corp videos that talk about him. But yeah, I do think avarice is the most likely between him, that and fear. But for the different reason I think other people say, it's less about him and how greedy he is, even though he is very greedy and could easily qualify for it, and more about how because he's the Sith who was working behind the scenes for so long, and even when he was the Emperor, most people didn't know the true nature of Palpatine. There wasn't as much fear, so much as, the fear was a different type of fear than what the Yellow Lantern Corps would probably want out of him. And I think his greed overshadowed the amount of fear he did instill, because again, the true fear of Palpatine wasn't really expressed until after he died, when we found out what his whole deal was. So yeah, I like a lot of people. I will say Avarice is the most likely Lantern Corps, but I think Yellow is the most likely right behind that, and then probably actually followed by the Black Lantern Corps. I think Green as the let me see here. Technically, it's gold, silver, bronze, but let's up this a bit. Platinum, gold, silver, they get the bronze. Till then, though, let me know what you think. What Lantern Corps does Palpatine ultimately belong into? So put in the comments below. Let me know. Also, ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superman, Magic, whatever, anything I do on the channel. Lantern Corps videos, obviously, put in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. Until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, I'll see you next time. And tomorrow I got a who would win and the next and new what if. I will not tell you what it is. You can see the video to find out. I will say, in terms of the what if suggestions, this is one that I crossed out a lot. I had to cross out a lot of repeats in my book with how many people have given me the suggestion for it. So yeah. This is a big one. A lot of people have suggested. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.